Uh, I did put it on. Is it on? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Which hadith is it? One Maimunata. When Aisha radiallahu anha, anna Rasulullah sallam amra ay yustamta'a bi juludil maytati idha tubighat rawahu Malik wa Abu Dawud. And I remember Aisha radiallahu anha said Nabi Karim sallam ordered that a benefit can be taken from the skins of the dead when it is tanned. I remember Malik and Abu Dawud. Right. One Maimunata radiallahu anha qalat marra ala nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam رجال من قريش يجرون شاة لهم مثل حمار فقال لهم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لو أخذتم إهابها قالوا إنها ميتة فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يطهرها الماء والقرض. Therefore, as Maimuna radiallahu anha said, some men from the Quraysh passed by Nabi Karim pulling a goat for them like a donkey. And Nabi Karim said to them that if you took its skin, they said indeed it's carrion, it's dead. So Nabi Karim said that water and the leaves of the akaikia tree will purify it. So while dibagha, there are many ways of dibagha, tanning, sand, tashmish, sun, putting in the sun, also using sand. But they say one of the effective ways is this here. You use this water and the leaves of the akaikia tree. وعن سلمة بن المحبك قال إن رسول الله جاء في غزوة تبوك على أهل بيت فإذا قربة معلقة فسأل الماء فقالوا له يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إنها ميتة فقال دباغها طهورها رواه أحمد وابن داود. Salma ibn Muhabbik. He says that Nabi Karim came in the battle of the Tabuk to one household. So then there was a water bag which was hanging, right? So he asked for water. So they said to him, "O Nabi Akram, indeed it is carrion." So he said, "Its tanning has cleansed it." Narrated by Imam Ahmad and Abu Dawud. Fasul Salis. وعن امرأة من بني عبد الأشهل قالت قلت يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن لنا طريقا إلى المسجد منتنتا فكيف نفعل إذا مطرنا فقال أليس بعدها طريق هي أطيب منها قلت بلى قال فهذه بهذه رواه أبو داود. That is from a woman from Bani Abd Ashal, and she said that I said, "O Nabi Karim Sam, indeed there is for us, we have a road to the masjid which is dirty. So how will we do when it rains upon us?" So she said, "Is the road after it not more clean than it?" So I said, "Surely." So he said, "This is in exchange of that. The road after it will cleanse it." Here again we refer to dry najasat. Dry najasat, or the road will clean it, because the dry najasat, when it gets onto your clothes, it doesn't penetrate your clothes. But wet najasat will penetrate your clothes. When Abdullah ibn Mas'ud qala kunna nusalli ma'a Rasulillah sallam wa la natawadda'u min al-mawti'i rawat Tirmizi. Narif Abdullah ibn Mas'ud says we used to make salawat Nabi Karim sallam, and we never used to make wuzu from the place we are trampling, because we are trampling in from where we are trampling, right? What this means here is that we would come and walk to the masjid, right? And we'd make wuzu at home. And then we would sometimes come barefoot, right? And then when we would come at the masjid, we would not make wuzu again, right? And we didn't need to wash anything. So that is also referring again to the dry najasat. If it got onto our foot or whatever, then what we do, we the land after it cleans it, right? Therefore, we didn't have to wash it. And the other meaning that Abdullah ibn Mas'ud is referring to here is that the dust, etc., it comes on our foot, we wouldn't wash it again. Tasin it all is spark. You don't have to wash it. وعن ابن عمر رضي الله عنه قال كانت الكلاب تقبل وتدبر في المسجد في زمان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فلم يكونوا يرسون وجد وجب يرسون يرشون يرشون شيئا من ذلك رواه البخاري. The Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu said that the dogs used to come and go in the masjid in the time of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and they never used to wash anything of that. Right? Narrated by Bukhari. At the beginning of Islam, there was no doors in the masjid. So the dogs would come in and come out. So since there's no wet najasat on the dog, then that wouldn't harm the floor of the masjid. You understand it? Afterwards, obviously, the precaution and they put doors, etc. on the masajid. Now the dogs can't enter. وعن البراء رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا بأس ببول ما يؤكل لحمه وفي رواية جابر قال ما أكل لحمه ولا بأس ببوله رواه أحمد والدارقطني. The Bara رضي الله عنه says that Nabi Karim said there's no harm with the urine of that which its meat is eaten. And in the riwayat of Jabir radiallahu anhu, he said that which its meat is eaten, there's no harm with its urine. Narrated by Ahmad and Daraqutni. Right, because of this hadith, yeah, Imam Malik, Imam Ahmad, Imam Muhammad of the Ahnaf, and some Shawafi says that the urine of the ones whose meat is eaten is spark. Sometimes you see these people, they just drink direct from the camel. They drink direct from the camel. Funny things they do, right? Imam Imam Yusuf Rahmanullah says that all urine is napak. You understand it? And they say they've got the hadith istanzi'u min al-bawl fa inna amata adhab al-qabl minhu. Stay away from urine because most of the punishment of the grave comes from the seer, right? So they say it is napak, and precaution demands that therefore their watching should also be napak. Just as the urine of the lion, the meat of those animals, meat not eaten is napak. Likewise here also, right? Bab and Imam Malik. You got Imam Malik here also, yeah. Imam Malik also. Right. Babul Masih al-Khufain, the chapter of Masah al-Khufain. Masah on the khufs is established via the Sunnah and mashhur hadiths, right? In fact, some say it comes up to the level of tawatur. You understand? And some muhaddithin they've counted at least more than 80 Sahaba Ikram who have narrated the permissibility or showed Masal al-Khufain. You understand it? And amongst these were also from the Ashara Mubashara. Right. Allama ibn Abdul Bahr says that I don't know of any ulama salaf who has rejected Masal al-Khufain. And Hazrat Hasan Basri rahmatullah says I know of 70 Sahaba that believed in Masal al-Khufain, right? Imam Karhi rahmatullah says that person who doesn't believe in the permissibility of Masal al-Khufain, I fear kufr upon him. I fear kufr upon him. Right. Right. Then, so that's Imam Karhi rahmatullah alayhi says, right? Imam Boni rahmatullah says, I didn't accept Masal al-Khufain until it became, there was so much proof in front of me that it became like the light of the sun. Right. So that means Masal al-Khufain is whoever doesn't accept, in fact, it's going to come here now. Right. So to make Masal al-Khufain, right, is a leeway, it's permissible. If anybody now decides to wash his feet, then that is more rewarding. You understand it? It's mentioned in Hidayah, right? That person who doesn't believe in Masah al-Khufayn is a bid'ati, right? However, that person who believes in Masah al-Khufayn, but then still washes his feet and practice on azimat, then that is greater reward for him. You understand it? Then there's ikhtilaf here, which I didn't go into, that what is it better to sometimes to practice on Masah al-Khufayn or is it better to wash the feet? You understand it? So the result is that whatever is suitable for you, you practice on that. Whatever is suitable for you, practice on that. Right. Al-Fasul Awalu an Shuraih ibn Anin radiallahu qala sa'altu Ali ibn Abi Talib anil Masih al-Kufayn wa qala ja'ala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ثلاثة أيام ولياليهن للمسافر ويوما وليلة للمقيم رواه Muslim. From Shuraih ibn Hani, he asked Ali ibn Talib about Masih al-Kufayn. So he said that Nabi Kareem Sallallahu has made 3 days and nights for the Musafir and 1 day and 1 night for the Mukim, the resident. You understand it? So obviously, Jamhur ulama says that at time, when do you start calculating? From the time you break your wuzu. From the time you break your wuzu, you start counting 1 day and 1 night for the Mukim or 3 days and 3 nights for the Musafir. وعن المغيرة بن شعبة أنه غزا مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم غزوة تبوك. That is from Mughira ibn Shuba radiallahu anhu, he said he went into battle with Nabi Akram in the battle of Tabuk. قال مغيرة فتبرز رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قبل الغائط. Then Nabi Karim Sam went into the jungle, right, to relieve himself. فعملت معه إداوة قبل الفجر. So I carried with him a leather bag right before Fajr. فلما رجع, then when he returned, أخذت أهريق على يديه من الإداوة. I began pouring upon his hands from the leather bag. فغسل يديه ووجهه. Then he washed his hands and his face. وعليه جبة من صوف, and upon him is a cloak of wool. ذهب يحتر عن ذرائه. He began trying to remove it from his arms. فذاق كم الجبة. So the sleeves of the jubba was very thin. فأخرج يديه من تحت الجبة. So he removed his hands from beneath the jubba. وألقى الجبة على منكبيه. And he placed the jubba upon his shoulders. فغسل ذراعيه. And that's how then he washed his hands, his arms. ثم مسح بناصيته. Then he made masah of his forehead and upon the amama. Then I inclined to remove his hoofs. So he said, ثم أهويت لأنزع خفيه. Then I inclined to remove his hoofs. فقال دعهما. So he said, leave them. فإني أدخلتهما طاهرتين. Because I've put them on whilst I was in state of wuzu. فمسح عليهما. Then he made masah upon them. ثم ركب وركبت. Then he rode and I rode. فانتهينا إلى القوم. Then we came to the people. وقد قاموا إلى الصلاة, and they had already started the salah. ويصلي بهم عبد الرحمن بن عوف, and Abdul Rahman ibn Auf was leading the salah for them. وقد ركع بهم ركعة, and he had made 1 rakat already. فلما حس بالنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, when he perceived that Nabi Karim was there, ذهب يتأخر, he began going backwards. فأومى إليه, Nabi Karim made a sign to him. فأدرك النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إحدى الركعتين معه. Then Nabi Karim read behind him. Then Nabi Karim got one of the 2 rakats with him. فلما سلم, when he made salam, قام النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وقمت معه. Then Nabi Akram stood up and I stood up with him. فَرَكَعْنَا الرَّكَعَةَ الَّتِي سَبَقَتْنَا. Then we made the rakat which we must. Right. So that's a longer these days. So nevertheless, yeah, he made amama he made masa on the amama. It means he made masa on quarter of the head, and then the remainder he made on the amama. You understand it? So what we understand from this, a few things we understand from this hadith here, which is that it's running late already. So first we see the Nabi Akram went to go fulfill his need, right? So it shows that before namaz already a person should start preparing for salah, right? The second thing, as the Mughira bin Shu'bah radiallahu anhu, he poured the water. So it shows that if somebody pours water for you, it's permissible, right? The third thing we learn is that when Nabi Akram came there and they'd already read one rakat, then out of adab, Hazrat Abdul Rahman, out of respect, he started going backwards. But then Nabi Akram gave him a sign, then he continued the salah, leading the salah. So it shows also that somebody who is greater can read behind somebody who's afdal can read behind somebody who's ghair afdal, right? Right. He started moving backwards first now, so that Nabi Akram can go to the front. You understand it? Right. The other thing is that we find that the Imam can be ghair ma'soom, not ma'soom. Anbiya alayhim salatu wasalam are ma'soom. They are they are protected from sins. They are totally they free, sinless, right? And awliya, the pious people, are mahfood. Allah protects them from sin, right? From sin. So the imam can be ghair ma'soom. In other words, he is mahfood, maybe, or maybe even if it's a sinner. You understand it? It doesn't matter. He can lead the salah. The Shia say the imams are all ghair ma'soom. They are all ma'soom. The imams are ma'soom. They give the imams the status of the anbiya. Right. Uh, yeah, okay. So nevertheless, it also shows here that if the imam is not present, right, and you don't know what time is coming, then you can carry on the salah. But if you know what time is coming, then you wait a little bit for him. Leave it till there.